Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel. I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central Time, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are a Fox News affiliate. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, Abundant Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. And it's so important because this guy right here, AP Steadham, has been our sports guy for, gosh, what, 9 years or something?
It's been
really retired.
No.
But you're all around the world. And now that you're on Abundant Television and on YouTube and all these other channels, you got a big audience.
Yeah, we're going to be transitioning, Donna. We're going to start next week with video of all our shows. We're going to be launching a couple new shows, plus our normal show, AP and Kelly As We See It, which is on IC Radio every Friday, Football Friday, 4 p.m. Central. So you'll be able to see us as well. But we still have the audio portion. You can listen to that along with seeing the video if that's your choice. But we thought that people, they like to see us a little bit more. So we're going to make that transition, not this week, but next week will be our first week. And one of the interviews I could tell you about, Donna, was we had the captain, one of the returning captains of the University of Southern California. Now you say, why do we have the captain of the University of Southern California? They're moving to the Big Ten. Well, their opening opponent is from the SEC, LSU, and that will be in Las Vegas. So I will be in Las Vegas on that Sunday of Labor Day weekend. That game is at 6:30 Central Time. It's a big game between intersectional teams. USC from the West Coast, who now transitioned to the Big Ten, and then LSU, the one of the teams from the SEC, of course. So that's what we call a pendulum game, Donna, because you're playing a major team from one conference and gets a major team from another conference. And if you win that game, even in the mind of the voters, when you're evaluating somebody as a single entity, you start to think about, well, LSU beat USC out of the Big Ten. That gives them a slight advantage, or vice versa if that happens. But they're two teams, just to discuss it quickly, tremendous offenses normally, but defensively they've struggled mightily. I mean, when you have 131 teams and you're in the 100 for defense, 100 and something, that is not good. You can't win championships. You can win 9 or 10. You might even win 10 games. You can win 8 or 9, but you can't win a championship because the defense gets busted wide open against an opponent and they can't maintain the lead. So, but anyway, we're looking forward to that first game. And this is the 0 week of college football, Donna. I'm not sure where they came up with that term, 0 week. They don't call it week 1, it's 0 week, because there's a few games. I think Florida State and Georgia Tech, they're going to be in Dublin, Ireland, playing a ball game over in Ireland. So that's to be quite a spectacle over there. They've done that a few times. Notre Dame has played Navy over there. You had the professional teams play there as well in London and Ireland. Yeah. Well, and I guess I always use that reference, money. You're trying to get more eyes on teams and develop more a fan base, right? They're going to be buying Georgia Tech and Florida State gear, and they're going to watch those teams. So I guess that's one of the reasons. But it's a tremendous experience for the players. Maybe they've never been to Europe. Most of the United States has never been to Europe. So that's an unbelievable advantage for those young student athletes to travel to Ireland and play a game against Florida State and Georgia Tech. Those two teams, it's a great moment for them and their universities, and they can promote the universities over there too.
Yeah, and find some football players out there too, because I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of talent.
Yeah, might find a rugby player that likes to play American football, the kicker, or some type of player, special teams that are used to contact. They don't have any gear when they're playing that rugby down. They're getting hit, so they might enjoy playing. And that could happen down the road. 10 years from now, there might be a player from Ireland. He plays at Georgia Tech or Florida State or some other school and says, "How did you get involved in football?" Well, we saw Florida State and Georgia Tech. I was 10 years old. I really became enamored with the sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of them. I know a lot of missionaries who are in Africa, and they love football. And they're teaching it to those folks over there in South Uganda, North Uganda, and they're loving it.
Yeah, they have quite a few players in America come from Nigeria, Donna. They're very talented. Because Donna, they've played soccer primarily during their life, so footwork is critical in any sport. They're way advanced in footwork to the Americans. So they have an advantage starting off in the game. You just have to point them in the right direction. That's all.
I know. I mean, I always thought about that too with Saban. I always wondered why, because I mean, really, it makes all the sense in the world, because of of what the sports they're used to playing for, and they're precise too in their kicking skills. Very
Yeah,
precise.
yeah. The Alabama's got James Burnham. He's from down under somewhere. Punter. He's one of the All-American candidates. So Alabama's kicking game with the punter, and then the transfer from the MAC conference won the Luke Rose Award. So Alabama's kicking. Gee whiz, when you think about it, Don, that might be maybe the best combination they ever had, punter and kicker, at one time at Alabama. They've had some good kickers, All-American kickers, decent punters. J.K. Scott comes to mind. But having them together, that's one of the better duos at Alabama. Yeah.
That's true. And don't forget, you and I have always talked about this, about how sometimes the kicker rules. Sometimes the kicker is the winning shot there.
Yeah. I'm checking the kicker out in a tight ball game. And I always preface my remarks, look, it's that day, that moment. You could be the best kicker in the world that have never missed. I've seen him miss 20 in a row, and on that critical moment in a game where it's tight and they're playing for the championship, kicker missed. I've seen it happen professionally and in college. So it's that day, that moment. But you have to feel confident when you have a Lou Groza Award winner that made the transfer to Alabama.
Another thing I thought about too with a kicker, I would think the best kickers are from somewhere where there was a lot of wind. I mean, think about this. You're from Chicago and you're a good kicker. You'd be good on any football team.
Right. That swirling wind. Yeah, you're correct. The swirling wind, that plays a factor sometimes in a game. So if you've been established in that weather condition, you have a slight advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would think so. What are some of the other? We're talking about other countries right now. We're going to be talking a lot of football in just a minute, but I'm just another player or another, like, okay, we talked about kickers. What about a quarterback? A quarterback maybe who's from Africa.
Yeah, Donna, that position is so much more complicated than just kicking the football. Yeah. You can refine that kicking. You can be by yourself down there and practice. Well, not necessarily by yourself, but you could practice punting by yourself. But kicking, you need somebody to hold the ball, of course, maybe snap the ball. But quarterback, Donna, that is another level of complication, right? That it takes years to be a good quarterback. Down, you could have the skills to throw the ball. You have good vision. You have the ability to escape the rush with your dual threat versatility, but playing the quarterback position down, you need some receivers to practice. You need to be in front of a defense and understand how the defense rotates and moves, so you can make the throws and you could throw the ball with anticipation to get the receiver open, and the timing and the touch. Yeah, quarterback, much more complicated. You can't practice that by yourself. You could practice throwing the football even by yourself if you spot some targets, but even then you want to make sure that you're able to connect with somebody while they're moving. So, but yeah, quarterback, I'm trying to think of a position that a player, besides the kicking, that's one of the few skills you can practice almost by yourself. Blocking, if you learn that, you can practice moving your feet and getting set up, but you want to have that contact to see if you can stave off somebody putting all that pressure on your body and trying to push you back. But getting to the quarterback, maybe you practice your rush. You can do those types of things, but there's not very many things in football you can practice by yourself with efficiency. I mean, you could, like I say, you really need somebody opposing you to make it worth your while, I think.
We had a question. This is from Ryan, who's from Austin. I'm assuming Austin, Texas.
Correct. Yes.
So his question was, what would exactly be the difference? Because he said a lot of high school football teams now are turning into soccer instead of football. So really, I mean, is that a bad thing? I mean, really, what is a whole lot of difference between soccer and football? You still have the ball. I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah. Well, in soccer, Donna, everyone normally is touching the ball in soccer. In football, you have the skilled players, the quarterback, the the running back, the tight end, the wide receivers on the offensive side. The center snaps the ball. That's it. And then defensively, you don't touch the ball unless you make a play during the course of the pass, or you can recover a fumble. So soccer, quite a bit of footwork involved. You have to be fast and able to run. Whereas big linemen down, they're not required to run 40, 50 yards at one clip. They're moving between like 5 yards or so, 5 to 10 yards, maybe if the guard is pulling center, pulling tackle, and you're blocking that person right in front of you. So the difference is, in soccer, everybody's touching the football. The goalie will touch it when he stops the attempt. But in football, not everybody is actually touching the ball itself. And there's 11 people trying to execute a particular play. Where in soccer, you may execute a play with 3 or 4 people in front of you. The people behind you have nothing to do with the execution of the play.
I can see if you were a good football player and it turned into a soccer team instead, I think that might help the soccer team.
Yeah, if you're a wide receiver and you're used to running and you have good footwork, you could help the soccer team, I'm pretty sure, or even a goalie, because maybe you have the length and the quickness to react, the high hand and eye coordination as the goalie. Yes, yeah, there's football players that definitely can play soccer, and vice versa. There's some soccer players that are quick with their feet. You got a slot receiver. Maybe he's 5'9", 5'10", not tall, but he has the quickness and can get open and catch the ball. He can contribute to a football team, most definitely. And then you get somebody who's a big soccer player. Maybe they're a tight end, maybe something like that, or a linebacker. Yeah, because they can run.
I can see how that could happen too. Okay, let's go on ahead and cut into a commercial break. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in there.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities.
Good afternoon. We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, Where Truth Matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Now, that's Central Time, as AP and I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. AP and Kelly as we see it. So you guys are here on our station, and that's icradio.media. You can also download the app, and you can hear AP and Kelly every Friday, Football Friday at 4. Hey, you're a huge addition to the station. Thanks for doing that.
Oh, thank you, Donna. We really have fun. We appreciate your audience, and we always welcome the questions that we have with you as well. We enjoy discussing the teams, and we're looking forward to the season. We are so close to starting the SEC, so we're looking forward to that start of the season.
Okay, so I'm beginning to get a bunch of friends from Anderson, South Carolina.
Yes.
So now there are several different football teams out there. One's a little smaller, and it's the University of Anderson. I haven't really checked that football team out very much, but we got Clemson, we've got South Carolina. Yes. And so you're probably going to be getting a lot of questions in the future for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And it's some exciting teams. I know those two are about like Alabama and Auburn when you're talking Clemson and South Carolina.
Right. Woo. Yes. Big rivalry. And Donna, it's funny you mentioned Clemson. I was looking at their roster the other day. They must have, it's over 10 players, I think, from the state of Alabama on their team. They have quite a few players from Alabama.
About that.
Yeah, because, Dabo's funny being from Alabama, and he has people on his staff. So, yeah, they have quite a few people from the state of Alabama. And Clemson has a national roster, Donna. They have people from everywhere. I mean, north, south, east, and west. They have players from everywhere. It's a very impressive roster.
Yeah, there's been a little bit in the kinks the past few years. Do you see them evolving now to be a better team?
I think they're going to be good. I've heard that they have an improvement with the wide receivers to help their quarterback, Cade Klubnik, who, by the way, is from Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. Austin, Texas plays for Clemson. So that's, like I said, that's reflective of their national appeal with recruits. So I've heard that they have better wide receivers, and henceforth, I think they're going to be better on offense. They need to be to show some improvement in that area. So, and usually Clemson has a pretty good defense, pretty strong up front and solid defensively. So, Clemson, they're going to challenge for the ACC title, along with probably Florida State. Miami seems to be reaching their goal of being a contender. We shall see. With Miami, they open up with Florida in Gainesville. That's a tough game, and that's an in-state rival. So I think it's going to be quite a battle in the ACC. But South Carolina is a team they're trying to get bowl eligible. They have a dual threat quarterback, Sellers, and they have their transfer from Auburn, Robbie Ashford, as well. So I think you'll probably see two quarterbacks play for South Carolina. They've got to get better in that offensive line. They surrendered a lot of sacks, and it's not good for your quarterback, the health of your quarterback or your team down if the quarterback is running around. and running for their life, trying to,
Yeah.
throw the football and things like that. So South Carolina trying to get better on offense, defense, and reach that goal of 6 games to make the playoffs. But Clemson should be in contention not only to win the ACC title, but to make the college football playoffs as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the SEC, has
Right.
anything changed your mind in the past couple of weeks as far as the top 5?
No, I don't think so, Donnie. Georgia at the top, Texas, Alabama. I like that Missouri team. Tennessee, we always discuss them because, and Josh Heupel, he thinks, I believe this is his best and deepest roster. So when the coach is telling people that is the situation, I'm going to believe him. I'm going to believe Josh Heupel. He watches his team every day. So Tennessee is a team that I think will play better, even if they lose some games down. I would think you're not going to see any blowout like they did last year against Missouri, 36-7, and then Georgia beat them up.
That hurt.
Big score. I mean, I don't think that Tennessee should not be blown out by anybody down with this roster. I don't believe. So then that's a question of how do you play in the tight ball game? Does the coach make the right play? Does one of the players execute something at the end of the game? Because that's what happens. You're getting toward the end. Both teams are battling back and forth. It's a tight ball game. You have possession. Are you going to make the catch? You make the throw, make the tackle, make the kick. All those things matter in the end. But it's in the tight ball games down where maybe 7 or 8 plays through the entire game, plus a couple at the end. Who makes the play?
Yeah. You got another, and this is from Nick, and I'm assuming Nick's from Alabama because his question is this. He said, are you looking at a new coach that could be the next Nick Saban?
Well, he's going to be the next Kalen DeBoer. I mean, he's going to be his own person. We've seen him redecorate the offense, more contemporary. He plays the music during practice. He brings the ice cream truck for a break. I mean, those are all different things in the prior head coach Nick Saban did at Alabama. So, no, Kalen DeBoer is going to be his own person. That's all you can do, Donna. He's won it. He doesn't need. I don't think he needs to change at this point. He's been winning not only. He's been winning big. Let's put it that way. Everywhere he's been, he was in the national championship game. Why would he change? He's going to make some adjustments, of course, being in the SEC. But he knows how to win football games.
Well, the fans are not looking for a carbon copy of Saban.
No. You have to be yourself.
They're not looking for that anyway.
No. People coach different ways, Donna. Some people.
Bear Bryant was totally different from Nick Saban.
Totally different. Had some similarities with. They're always promoting a standard, promoting a high standard. But all coaches say those things, but it's up to the players to reach that level. You can promote things all you want, Donna, but how do you arrive at that gold standard of being one of the elite teams in the country? That's up to the players and their efforts in the off season, during the season, in practice every day.
It's hard to decide too. What are the winning factors? Let's just talk about the mannerism with the players. I mean, some coaches can be almost like drill sergeants and be very successful, and then some are kind of like your grandfather, who is so relaxed and hugs them and all this kind of stuff. So I really don't know what makes a great coach other than just the communication between him and the players.
Well, there's a couple ways to lead, Donna. You can lead by fear. And that's not my preferred method.
It wouldn't be my way.
I like people to follow my lead. And there's coaches who have incorporated both styles and been successful. But over time, I would like people to say, I want to play for that person because I want to follow them. I believe in their plan. Whereas some coaches, they try to inject that fear, and that's their method. But that's not my preference.
Yeah, that might be back the other way. But then there are some people that have to have that guidance. But again, it wouldn't be big. So, okay, your top 5, who are they right now?
Yeah, top 5 nationally, Donna. I would probably say I was looking at they have the couple poll, well, more than one poll came out. So the Associated Press, Donna, I'll just run down, is Georgia at number 1, Ohio State number 2, Oregon number 3, Texas number 4, Alabama number 5. And in the Football Writers Association poll, it's the same at the top, Georgia, Ohio State. Number 3 is Texas, number 4 is Oregon. They just flipped. And then Alabama was number 5. So that's a good opening 5, I guess. You see that there's 3 teams in the SEC, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama in the top 5 in those 2 polls. So it'll all work out because Georgia has to play Alabama, but Georgia has to play Texas, Ohio State. I think Ohio State might even play Oregon now that they're in the Big Ten. I think that came on their schedule. I believe it is. So this will all shake out very quickly, matter of fact.
Yeah, who's your Cinderella team?
A Cinderella team. Let me see. If to pick one in the conference, Donna, I'm going to pick Missouri as the Cinderella team to win the whole thing, Donna, I think. The Cinderella. And then nationally, a Cinderella type team. I guess I could pick a Cinderella type team national. I'll pick Notre Dame, I guess. Maybe Notre Dame.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, I think they have Riley Leonard, the quarterback from Fairhope, Alabama. He transferred from Duke. I think this coach, Marcus Freeman, he's a defensive type coach. I think they're going to improve on offense. Now, Notre Dame, when you watch that team down at, I don't think you'll see some All-American at the wide receiver position or running back, but they have good players. And I think collectively they can have an excellent team. And defensively, if they can hold their own, you get them in a tight ball game. They probably have some good coaching. And Riley Leonard, I'm interested to see what he can do leading the Irish, Fighting Irish.
Mm-hmm. Okay, AP and Kelly, as we see it, who's going to be on your show this coming week?
Yeah, this week, Donna, we're trying to discuss some other teams. Last week we discussed South Carolina with David Cloninger from the Post and Courier out of Charleston, lives in Columbia, and we have Leanne Herring. She discussed Ole Miss. We spoke about those 2 teams. This week, I'm trying to see if we can discuss Kentucky and one other team in the conference. Let's see if we can get that guest. But I'm looking forward to it. But then the following week, like I said, we'll be on video, and we'll have the returning captain from the University of Southern California. And tentatively, Donna, we're going to have the leader of the college football playoff. He was just named Lieutenant General Rich Clark, and he is the new executive director of the college football playoff. So he's supposed to be our guest. We're looking forward to him. He played at Air Force on a team that won 10 or 11 games. He was an undersized linebacker. And so we're looking forward to that interview 2 weeks from now.
I always felt sorry for some of the football teams that would go against Army or because you're thinking people don't think we're patriotic because we're going to beat them,
Right. Yeah, they compete. Those teams compete. Army, Navy, Air Force, they really compete down every play. They are tough.
Yeah, they sure are. AP, thank you so much for being on the show with me again today. It's always a pleasure. Remember, AP and Kelly, you find them right here on this radio station, iecradio.media. Don't forget to download the app. That way it's really super fast. We're going to be, by the way, when you're in the television world, where can people find you then?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be on the YouTube, Donna. We'll put it on there. And so we're looking forward to opening that vantage point for people to see us.
You're going to like that. You need to talk to the folks at the Newscaster Studio. They would love to have you there. They have video.
Okay, yeah, you got to
give you a call.
Okay, yeah, you got to give me a call on that one.
Okay, will do. Thank you again for being on the show with me. I'll see you again next week. You take care. Have fun.
Thank you, Dan. Bye-bye.
And thank you guys so much for watching. You're the reason we do this. You take care. See you next time.